Ada Twist and the Perilous Pans. So you guys see Ada Twist. Alright, so let's read. We are going to read chapter 1. Ada Twist woke to the smell of breakfast. She jumped out of bed and followed her nose to the kitchen where her father was cooking eggs with onions. He was also boiling 2 dozen eggs for egg salad. There you are, he said. Hugs in a second. Eggs first. Everyone knows that chickens come first, said Ada. Her dad laughed. It was the same joke Ada made every time her dad cooked eggs for breakfast. They were being goofy, but the age-old question still made her wonder which came first, the chicken or the egg. Someday, thought Ada, I'll do an experiment to find out. Hugs come first over here, said Ada's mom, who was sitting at the table by 2 coffee cups. Ada hugged her mother. The smell of her mom's sweet perfume mingled with the bitter scent of steaming hot coffee. The mix was one of the best smells in the world to Ada. She smiled. My turn, said Mr. Twist, setting the bowl of eggs and onions on the table. Ada took a step toward him, but stopped suddenly. The strong, bitter aroma of coffee above her mother's mug filled her nostrils, but her dad's mug of coffee had no smell at all. Ada leaned closer and sniffed again. Nothing. Look at Ada hugging her mom. Oh, it's so cute. Well, Ada in the kitchen with her mom. I hug her mom. Oh, we're on chapter 2. Let's go to chapter 2 and see what happens. What do you think it is? Like, why does her mom coffee cup have a smell, but her dad's coffee cup has nothing? Oh my goodness. Let's see what came up. So, on this picture, I see a whiff of coffee, steam, hot equals smell. The second picture, no steam, no smell, cold, no smells. What do you think is in that cup? Look at this picture. Look at how she drew the pictures, because that's what good investigators do. And she labeled everything. And she didn't put any opinions, because if you put opinions as a scientist, it's not facts. And science is all facts. So now we're on chapter 2. Ada pulled the tape measure out of her pocket. She always kept one handy. She measured the distance from her nose to the top of her mother's coffee mug. She bent closer and closer to the mug, sniffing, measuring, and taking notes. She could smell the coffee from her mom's mug from 12 centimeters away. She repeated the steps with her dad's mug, but she could not smell anything from his mug until her nose was only 4 centimeters away. Even then, the scent was faint. Your coffee is broken, Dad, said Ada. It doesn't smell. Keep investigating, said Mrs. Twist. You'll figure it out. Ada knew that using all her senses was a great way to gather data. Ada looked carefully at the mugs. Steam rose over her mom's mug like wispy smoke. Ada placed her right hand over the steam and her palm became damp. She placed her left hand over her dad's mug. Her left hand stayed dry. Finally, Ada touched her mom's mug. It was hot. Her dad's mug was icy cold and a little damp. Sally, said Ada. Her dad laughed and picked up his mug and took a drink. It's iced coffee, he said, but the ice melted, so it looks like the hot stuff. And speaking of hot, said Mrs. Twist, can we eat while our eggs are still hot stuff? While Ada ate, more questions swirled around in her mind. What makes hot coffee hot? What makes steam? Why does it go up? Why was Dad's mug damp on the outside? Why does the hot coffee smell more than the cold coffee? Do other things smell stronger when they are hot than when they are cold? Every question gave her 2 more questions, and each of those questions led her to 4. And here we go. Again, a good scientist draws a picture, labels their questions with facts and not opinions. Miss Ada Twist. brother, Arthur, came into the kitchen carrying his tennis racket and his tennis shoes. As he passed Ada, a toe-curling stink whacked her right in the nose. Zowie, thought Ada. An idea popped into her brain. She could do an experiment. I wonder, she said, and she tapped her chin. A look of panic crossed Arthur's face. A similar look crossed her cat, Bunsen Burner's face. Bunsen darted out of the room. Arthur pointed at Ada. Ada's doing that tapping thing, said Arthur, who had seen that look on her face before. It usually led to something messy happening or worse. Hey, Arthur, Ada said eagerly, do you want to help me do some science? No, said Arthur. And don't use my stuff. Remember what Mom and Dad said. Arthur loved his sister, and he loved science. Experiments too, but he didn't love Ada's experiments when they used his stuff. He was still getting pudding out of his Lego blocks from the time Ada tested what made things sticky. After that, his parents made rules about how Ada could conduct her experiments, but sometimes she forgot. Rule number 1 was don't take Arthur's things without permission. Of course I remember, said Ada. I wrote it down. See? Ada flipped over her notebook and held it up for him. So here is Ada's brother. And here is Ada's note. Okay. I always write down important things so I won't forget, Ada said. Arthur frowned and plopped into a chair as he ate his breakfast. He watched Ada wearily, but Ada was too busy working to notice. She scribbled notes and grinned. She loved having a question to explore. It was a mystery, a riddle, a puzzle, a quest. This was the moment that Ada loved best. It was science time. Okay, that was chapter 1 and chapter 2. This book is written by Andrea Beatty, illustration by David Roberts. And again, look at how beautiful she is with her afro puffs. And look at her brother and her friends. I think they're her friends. Hopefully they're her friends. We don't know yet, so those are questions that we have about the book. And then in the back of the book, we have 3 chairs for the questionnaires. And this is just the back of the book and some illustrations from Mr. David Roberts. So guys, I hope you take this journey with me as I finish reading about Miss Ada Twist. Chapter 3 and 4 will be next. Have a good day. Thank you for listening to Miss Schuler.